Example number 1, it looks like we've got a whopping 9 slides here. So example number 1, find the polynomial function of degree 3 having zeros -1, 2, and 3. So if the zeros are -1, 2, and 3, that means x equals -1, x equals 2, and x equals 3. Those are the spots where this polynomial crosses the x-axis. Those are the zeros of the function. Now, to find the polynomial, we did this last year. All we did was set each of these equal to 0. So bring the 1 back over, and that will be x plus 1. Bring the 2 back over, and that will be
x subtract 2.
x minus 2. Bring the 3 back over, x minus 3. Now what do you think we do? Do it.
Back. Or what's it called?
Multiply these back out?
Yeah.
Foil it back out?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So first times first. Let's see, outer times outer, inner times inner, that's going to be minus x, and then minus 2. Is that okay? I did that in my head?
Yeah.
All right? And then my students have a tendency to ask, okay, that's cool, they can do this first step, but then how do you do the second step? Anybody got an idea?
You do it again?
Kinda. But there's 3 things here. It's a trinomial. How do you do that? Kind of distribute. In other words, take x and multiply it by all 3 of these. Write those down. Then take -3, multiply it by all 3 of those, and write them down. Add like terms. I think we need some room. Do you mind if we go up here?
That's fine.
All right, so I'm going to take x times each one of those 3. X times x squared, x cubed, x times -x, -x squared, x times -2. Now we've exhausted all of the x things. Now we exhaust the -3. -3 times x squared, -3 times -x, and -3 times -2. Add like terms. So we got
X cubed.
an x cubed.
And then a -4x squared.
Do you agree with them? These 2 things?
And then an x. And then
6. And it looks like we have to pause. I'm so sorry.
Anyone in here taking PSAT?
Yes?
There.
Did we do this stuff last year?
I believe we did, but I don't think we did it on this level. Okay?
yeah.
And we have to pause again. So we're going to do the same thing we did last time, except we're going to go x equals -3. That will be x, help me,
Plus 3.
plus 3. X equals 0, that's going to be
X.
x, or x minus 0, x. X equals 1.
X subtract 1.
And now the tricky one. If x equals 2/3, I'm going to suggest that that become 3x minus 2. Somebody explain that.
You multiply the 3 and then subtract the 2.
Yeah. Then you don't have to do big multiplication with a fraction. Multiply by 3, and then subtract the 2.
What?
Okay, foil away. Have a good time.
Yeah. That's great. Don't forget.
All right, so while you were gone, we foiled these 2. And then we multiplied 3x times each one of these. And that gave us the first 3 terms. Then we took -2 and we multiplied it by each one of these. And really all we did was make a huge mess.
You forgot the plus 6.
So what have we done? And then we multiplied everything by x, combined like terms. And I think, what am I missing? The 6x? All right, fantastic. And again, when they're watching the video, if you want to watch this again later, that's fine. You can just pause right there. You don't have to keep, oh. Now I need to pause. Whoa. All right, so I actually took a screenshot of that and I threw it over here so we know what we were talking about. Let's see if we can, I don't know, do we need some more room on this thing or not? Find all the zeros of x to the fourth minus 3x squared minus 4. How many zeros am I looking for?
4.
I'm looking for 4. For the people on the video missed that. We're looking for 4 zeros, this 4 right here. All right, so the first step, find out how many there are. Next one, graph the function to locate the zeros. Can somebody remember x to the fourth minus 3x squared minus 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yeah.
I should have had this typed in already. Sorry about that. All right, help me out now. X to the fourth. Hold on, no, this is kind of funky. I got to figure this out. Was it minus?
Yeah.
Minus what?
3x.
3x squared. Uh-huh.
Subtract 4.
Okay, what are the two easy zeros then?
-2 and 2.
-2 and 2? Those are what I call easy zeros because you didn't have to do any work. You just graphed it and looked at them. Can we agree on that? That seems to be a big deal with people. -2 and 2? I better not. Okay. My picture could turn out bad, and it is gender bender day. That would not be good. -2 and 2? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Let's start with -2. I don't know why. But the next step said, use synthetic division to divide out the easy ones until you have a quadratic. So what numbers do I put across the top? 1,
-3.
0.
Oh, yeah.
By 0.
Because you need to.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
negative.
All right, I don't have an x cubed. And then what's, and then -3,
And then 0.
and then 0,
And -4.
-4. Whew, can I go fast?
Yeah.
Bring down the first number, multiply, add them up. Multiply, add them up. Multiply, add them up. Multiply, add them up. If you don't get 0 there, you goofed. All right, because you said on the graph that's a 0. All right, now I'm lazy. I just divide out the next one right from those numbers. I don't rewrite it. I just start from there. Divide out the next one. Bring down the first number. Multiply, add them up. Multiply, add...
What is that?
Shut up. Did I goof?
Yes.
What is that mark in between the -2?
It's a 1.
It's a 1.
Bring down the first number. Multiply, add them up. Multiply, add them up. Multiply, add them up. Okay, now we got to figure out what on earth does this 1010 represent? Looks like a computer program. Well, you started at x to the fourth. So when you got to right here, this was an x to the third. So what's this one? X squared. So you have 1x squared plus 0x plus 1. May I erase all of this so I have some room? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so you said to do 2 low A, what do you mean?
All right. Good questions. We cleared that out. And when we got done, we said x equals -2 is a 0, x equals 2 is a 0, and we divided those out, and at the bottom of the synthetic division, we have x squared plus 1 equals 0. Now, we can use the quadratic formula, or is there an easier way?
Use synthetic division again?
No, just
Nope.
solve it.
No, how do you mean by just solve it?
Subtract 1.
Where to get it?
What? Square root? So I'm gonna say x equals plus or minus, what's the square root of -1? I. We were looking for 4 roots. You found 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I was like,
The next one we have to use a quadratic formula, so just so you're all excited about it. It looks to me like one of the zeros is -1. The other zero is in between 1 and 2. I don't know what that is. Can we agree on that? -1 or not?
Yeah.
All right. What's the worst thing that'll happen is I look. All right, so we divided the -1 out, boom, 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 and we were left with x squared minus 2 equals 0. And again, I goofed. We probably should. I wanted to pick one where you had to use a quadratic formula, but you guys are pretty good at that anyway. Bring the 2 over to the other side. What are the answers? I have 3 roots. One is -1. Not everybody at once. Thank you, Dylan. Take the square root of both sides. Anytime you take the square root of a variable, you get a plus or a minus. So we were looking for 3 roots. There's 1, 2, 3.